Today I sent some scallopini to Senor Gorman. It is my finest dish.
That's a fine peace offering.
Here we are, senor. Now, this was my prize wine. Now, you taste, huh?
Thank you.
Huh? What do you think?
Well, it's a little sour.
A little sour?
It has a...
It's like the inside of a smoke chimney. That's that oil well. What?
What is it?
Let's have a look.
Oh! Senor Gorman does this. That's the pan of scallopini I sent to him.
What an insult. I'll go up there and I crush that savage.
No, you won't, senor. Let me go up there first and see if I can do anything.
All right, boys, all right. That's enough. Shut her down. That's it.
Mr. Gorman,
Yeah, that's me. Who are you?
my name is Paladin.
How'd you get in here?
Walked in.
No wonder you wasn't shot. I've got rifle guards all around the place.
I saw them. What's the reason?
A crazy Italian who's trying to ruin me. You look like a good man in a fight. How'd you like to work for me?
I'd like to, except for one thing. I already work for that crazy Italian.
Now, look here, you get
Before we
off.
talk, Mr. Gorman, we should understand two things. First of all, he's not crazy. Second, he's an American.
He's crazy as a bog walker.
Well, this is a nice-looking operation you have here.
What would you know about oil?
Well, I was in Texas when they brought in the Black Cat, but two things should be changed.
Oh, they should. Well, name 'em.
Well, the main drainage ditch for the waste and the smoke from the boiler. You see, Mr. Gorman, the waste drains onto Donatello's land, and the smoke drifts over and coats his vines. Now, you could pump the waste off this rise and drain it off down the opposite slope. And a 20-foot chimney on that boiler would get away from the downdraft and take the smoke off harmlessly. It's a crime to destroy a vineyard that produces the best wine in the state, Mr. Gorman.
I don't drink wine. When I want to drink, I take white mule, straight. That's a man's drink. And something else, Mr. Paladin. I could do those things, you said, but it'd cost money. Every cent I could beg, borrow, or steal went into this well. Besides, that Donatello's fought me every foot of the way.
Teresa Donatello hasn't fought you.
Well, I kind of liked her until she tried to poison me. That Italian food hits me the wrong way.
That scallopini was well meant.
I took one taste and it bit me. I figured I'd better shoot it before it got loose and ran wild.
Now, Mr. Gorman, would you shoot an unarmed scallopini?
I'd shoot anything that gives me trouble.
What do you need? You need lots of dollars during sicknesses.
You need lots of dollars for an accident. You need the kind of protection that only Mutual of Omaha sells.
What do you need?
You need Mutual of Omaha income protection with the unusual lifetime benefits feature. Insurance that pays cash direct when total disability keeps you from working. You need it because Mutual of Omaha can pay you for as long as the covered disability lasts, even for life.
Here's what you need.
You need income protection insurance with a lifetime benefits feature, pioneered by Mutual Benefit Health and Accident Association of Omaha. For information, call your local Mutual of Omaha agent in the Yellow Pages, or write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
For information on how to receive cash during disability, write to the largest organization of its kind in the world, Mutual of Omaha. Send your name and address to Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska. It could be the most important thing you'll do this year.
Wine versus oil. Donatello versus Gorman. It was a standoff. And I hoped to keep it a standoff until I could clear up a few matters. I borrowed a horse and started for the nearest town. By the time I got back to the Donatello ranch, the standoff had turned into a battle. A mob of men were surging around the wine vats. Teresa.
Let's try to pray. But I cannot. Not for this.
What's happening?
Renato felt the time of choice is past. That he must lead a raid on Senor Gorman or we'll lose everything. But it's gone wrong. Gorman and his men are going to wreck our vats. Renato will be killed. You must help.
Get in the house and stay there. I'll see what I can do.
We're going to make those wine vats look like skins. Let them have it. Pour it on them. Clean out those wine drawers and head for the wine shed. Then we'll set around.
You stop them, Gorman. Tell them to go back or I'll blow your spine in two.
Oh, hold it, wait. It's a trap. Come back.
That's fine. That's fine. Now more of the same.
Everybody back. It's a trap. Go on, everybody get back to the well.
That's better.
So, that's how a big-time gunman acts, is it? Crawling up to shoot people in the back.
You didn't get shot. I figured you'd listen to reason. Otherwise, I'd have had to kill a half a dozen innocent men.
You talk big, Paladin. But the next time we meet, you'd better be ready to back it.
Good night, Mr. Gorman.
Remember what I told you.
He's
Next
just a
time.
baby. Oh. My little rabbit is just
I
being
think
the
you
biggest
understand that
baby
your attack was
right
a foolish
now.
move. No, thank you.
Gorman can ruin my vineyards as he pleases. Tomorrow, Teresa and I will pack and move.
This vineyard and winery means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Hope everybody is doing good. Welcome back to my channel. I'm very
Those
sleepy.
vats, they're not vats of wine. They are years of my life. But
Believe
Oh,
me,
my
I understand.
God, Camille
And I
is
want you to
alive.
understand
No.
That Gorman feels the same about his well
And
and
then they
refineries.
said I was alive.
you can't compare my beautiful wine with that black slime.
The principle involved is the same.
No,
Look,
Paladin.
look. Tomorrow, if you still want to move, I'll help you pack. Tonight, I'd like to use a barrel of your wine
What for?
for some of Gorman's rifle guards.
You crazy?
You ever read Omar Khayyam, senor?
Huh?
The grape with logic absolute shall all the warring tribes confute.
Ah.
Now then, I want that barrel of wine and a wagon.
Now, here's a foolproof formula for making the head of your house a happy man on Father's Day. Be sure his gift is Old Spice, and watch his face light up. Yes, this Father's Day, treat him to Old Spice by Shilton, finest grooming aids a man can use. Give him a truly luxurious way to shave. Old Spice Smooth Shave, rich, thick lather in a push-button container, $1. If he uses an electric shaver, give him Old Spice Pre-Electric Shave Lotion. Sets up his beard, speeds up his shaver, $1. Or shoot the works on a really deluxe gift, the Old Spice Treasure Chest. 7 great grooming aids, everything for his shave and shower, in a magnificent red box, $7. There are so many Old Spice gifts to choose from, priced from $1 to $7. Finest grooming aids a man can use. Remember,
Old Spice means quality.
Said the captain to the bosun, ask for the package with the ship
Big
that's in
boy.
the ocean.
It took a great deal of trouble to have a barrel of Donatello's wine fall off a wagon in just the right position for 3 of Gorman's guards to see it. It took 2 full hours of patient waiting for them to drink enough of it. And then it took some persuasion in Signor Donatello's direction.
Oh, Paladin, this is crazy. Those guards, they will kill us if they find us here.
Not if you do as I say. Gorman's men aren't going to kill anybody. Not after drinking a barrel of your wine. Now, I want you to stay hidden here until I yell for
Oh,
you.
no. I come with you.
You did things your way last night, remember?
But the last...
Tonight, I'm giving the orders.
All right, I stay.
All right, you lily-livered weaklings. Break your backs. Get that A-beam up on end and lift, will you? I say lift.
Gorman,
Paladin, why are you... What are you standing there for? At him, boys.
It's Abel Roberts. Oh my goodness.
a gun won't
What
do
are
you any
you
good, Gorman.
doing here?
They're all
Oh my goodness, you should be at work.
There'll be quite a fire.
I need it, Paladin. I'll give you 5 seconds. Put out that torch.
This torch will set your whole tank afire if you shoot me. Now, time's
Alright,
up.
you are at work.
My life isn't worth that much to you, Gorman. Put down the gun.
All right.
Alright.
All right.
That's better. Now I'll come down. We'll talk.
Alright. How's everybody at work?
Donatello.
Donatello. What's he doing skulking around here?
Now you kind of burn it up, huh? Go ahead.
Hope everybody's doing good at work, or does it really
I don't
fucking
want to start
matter?
any fires unless I have to. Now, here. I want you both to read this and sign it.
What
What
is
do you
I had a
mean,
lawyer
read?
draw it up. Renato,
Huh?
you give Gorman $3,000 to build a drainage setup and a chimney.
give
In
it-
exchange, you'll get a share in the well and a voice in how it's run.
Why should I pay $1,000? Go ahead and start a fire.
Well, you've never seen an oil fire.
I don't know. That email just
Explode in a
gives
few minutes and burning oil would
just
cover your
gives
whole
more
vineyard. You'd both
answers
be wiped out.
than it should.
Now take your choice, gentlemen. With that agreement, you can both
That email
operate your business
is
at a
way
profit.
too perfect.
Otherwise, if you continue to fight, you'll both lose everything.
Partner.
Partner.
Shake hands.
I know.
Shake hands. Shake hands. Good. Now, Mr. Gorman, Renato's sister has a
Tells
plan
me
to seal the
everything
partnership.
I need to know. Oh, hey, A10. Hope you're doing well. All right, later.
Bad news, my general. The army of engine wear advances. The forces of engine noise are poised for a major breakthrough.
Where now,
Just
Colonel?
came
The hydraulic
in,
valve lifter, sir. A heavy buildup
looked
of
at me
sludge,
funny,
rust,
and then
corrosion.
ran out.
Site 3C.
Hope you're doing well, A10.
Is supply.
General, could even you K-Site 3C stop this engine's noise?
Oh, I'm
Colonel,
doing
it's never
great.
too late when you
I'm
K-Site 3C.
tired, had
If
some
I could
weird
have just one
dreams, but I'm
bite for this
okay.
oil right now, it would
I
clean
might
this engine,
draw
smooth
those
this
weird
engine,
dreams
silence
later.
this engine.
Sir, the hydraulic valve lifters, they're pounding us to pieces.
Man the radio. Call for help.
Calling all car owners. This is Crankcase Central, urgent. Add 1K and K-Site 3C to your motor oil immediately. Obtain it before
Accurate, but I feel called out.
guaranteed or double your money back.
I'm sorry, I'm
They
sorry,
receive
I'm
us? We
sorry.
can only hope, sir.
Six easier. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine for now. So,
With
like,
the new partnership.
had a dream
Well, say now, this wine ain't so bad after all.
where this
don't
character
have the kick
exists
of white
in an
mule,
anime,
but it
and I
feels
know
all
that
right.
this character does not exist
I
in
don't
an
know,
anime.
but when I came in here, I
Just
hated everybody
because
now.
I know the anime.
Oh, the dinner's almost ready.
If they do, that anime went off the rails a while ago.
What?
You've got to get me out of here. Think of some excuse. You're smart.
Why? What's the trouble?
Teresa,
So
she's
why
a
not
fancy
use
woman
it
and all, but I can't stand that Italian food
in my
she
own
cooks.
manga?
It scorches me very inside.
Here's to the food.
And here's the wine. And now we're all going to eat like friends.
You sit, Mr. Gorman.
Why don't you show Mr. Gorman your special dish, Teresa?
Of course. Here. You like?
Why, that's Irish stew.
Bird?
One thing
No,
more,
no, no.
Mr. Paladin.
Yes.
Kangaroo.
I will see you tomorrow.
For breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Good night.
Until then.
Can't remember exactly. But,
Well.
like,
Hello there, Miss Wong.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
this was the
Good to see you
newest
back.
You sound
manga
like a boy.
character.
You need something?
No, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, everything is going very well.
Yes, I see you make quick plan for evening with charming young lady.
You not only sound like Hey Boy, you think like he does.
Yes, but how you make dates so fast?
A bottle of wine, Miss Wong.
Wine?
Some of Mr. Donatello's very best wine.
That's very nice.
Why?
And on the enclosed note, I quoted a little of Omar Khayyam.
Very nice.
Yes, very nice
So,
indeed.
a kangaroo. I love the kangaroo.
What for?
Sent to Heyo. Attached to bottle of sake. Might have most happy results.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I think so. Good night, Mr. Hyde.
Good night, Miss Wong.
Chester, put down that gun.
Okay, honey. Mr. Dillon told me.
So yeah, that's what I'm
I don't care
drawing,
what
I
Matt
guess.
Dillon says. Mrs. Dennis Weaver says no guns in the house.
But Mr. Dillon told me.
Oh, here's our picture in Look magazine, and it says Chester
There's
of
a little
Gunsmoke
boxing
and his wife,
kangaroo.
known in private life as Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Weaver.
One of the
Mr.
characters
Dillon
was
told me.
randomly
Now, does Maverick practice
like
fast draws around the house?
a
No,
redhead
he helps his wife
kangaroo.
cook dinner.
Well, now, ain't that something?
Oh, here's your old friend Doc here and Look, and the rifleman, and there's Yancey Derringer.
Well, forevermore. Well, ain't their wives pretty, though? You know, everybody ought to get Look and take a look at 'em, 'cause you know that girls was made to be loved. Girls...
Oh, Chester, you show Matt Dillon a copy and let him see what other Western heroes and their wives do around the house.
All right, music lover, I'll be seeing you.
Where are you going?
Down to the newsstand to buy a copy of the new issue of Look magazine.
Why?
Well, for Mr. Dillon.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam
then-
Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonald.
I
and
had
stars
a
John
weird
Daner
dream
as Paladin,
where I
Rip
was
Van
being
Wyck as Hey Boy.
stuck
Tonight's story was
in
written by Ken
a
Cole and adapted for radio by
kind of
John
a
Dawson.
weird
Featured
area.
in the cast were Blanche Hawkins, Lawrence Dobkin, Virginia Gregg, and Waldo Epperson. Hugh Douglas speaking.
And they told me that that if I wanted to go to this really cool, neat place, I needed to draw
again
for
next week
them
for
and stuff
Have
like
Gun,
that.
Will
But they
Travel.
never gave me the materials to draw. And they told everybody to be creative. So, like, it seems like I was tricked into a small room with a bunch of people, and every time I tried to leave, they were like, no. Anytime anybody tried to leave, they were like, no. Just you wait. Just wait. Every time. So, like, that was, like, specific of, like, oh, man, I really, someone needed to go to the bathroom or something like that.
I'm gonna break you. There are a lot of people here who are ripe to tear you down, and all they need is a good enough reason.
And
I'm
they
gonna
just
give them that reason.
were relentless. They were like, you need to be creative, and then we can go to a theme park or something like that. And I was like, I don't need you people to put me in a room to tell me to be
Starring Mr.
creative.
John Daner as
I'm just
Paladin.
creative. I'll create my way out of a paper bag.
1875, the Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
I don't know what the dream was about.
Ah, good evening, Miss Wong.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Chen.
Hey, boy.
Oh, yes.
When are you all finished?
Very soon now.
Oh, then maybe we go out together, eat a dinner.
You don't eat here in Cotton Kitchen?
Oh, no.
No? Where we go, then?
Oh, hey, boy knows. Good little cafe. Lots of good food, good drink. Edge of Chinatown. Run by Uncle of Hey Boy.
Sounds very nice.
Okay, we go. But first must run by Mr. Paladin. Have message for him. But I find him very quick and be back. You wait, okay?
Okay.
But it was just a dream. It was all a dream.
Everything foggy, dark, and drippy. Can't see nose in front of face. Miserable. Oh, there you are, Mr. Paladin. Hey boy has message for you. Excuse me, please. Talk to someone else.
But it was all a dream.
Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey boy.
Oh, glad to find you at last, Mr. Paladin. Look all over for you.
I told you I'd be right here in the square.
Yes, sir, but difficult to locate you in black of night.
You know, there's something exciting and adventurous about San Francisco on a night like this.
There is?
Down there, the bay, and around this hill, the city, stretching away unseen in all directions. The city filled with people, working, dreaming, living.
These are all very nice, but all the same thing true on sunny afternoon.
Oh, hey, boy. Where's your romance? Your spirit of adventure?
Oh, my romance is waiting for me back at hotel, where I come and tell you this message.
Oh, what is it?
So I hope you guys have all been doing good, incredible, amazing.
North Fork. Message says, trouble in North Fork. Come right away. What you say, Mr. Paladin?
Well, I'll be back at the hotel in a little while, hey, boy. I'll decide then.
Oh, I know you, Mr. Paladin. You decide already. You go.
What do you need?
You need lots of dollars for sicknesses.
You need lots of dollars for an accident. You need the kind of protection that only Mutual of Omaha sells. What do you need?
You need health insurance that pays and keeps on paying. Mutual of Omaha, hospital, surgical, and income protection insurance plans that pay liberal, long-term benefits.
Here's what you need.
You need dependable protection that pays promptly. Low-cost plans by Mutual Benefit Health and Accident Association, Mutual of Omaha. Call your local Mutual of Omaha agent listed in the yellow pages. Or write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska, for details on protection that pays and keeps on paying.
Mutual of Omaha pays so promptly, it is the first company ever to pay out more than $1 billion in health and accident benefits in its first 50 years. Find out how this low-cost protection can help you. Write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
As it turned out, North Fork was 2 days' stage ride from San Francisco, and it consisted of 3 frame buildings on one side of a rutted and dusty road. A livery stable, a saloon, and a general store. I figured the store would be the best place to start looking for this P. Buchanan. Inside, a tall man with a full beard and dark clothes was having trouble with the storekeeper. A rather pretty girl stood quietly to one side, listening.
As long as I own this store, you Mennonites buy nothing here. We work hard. We mind our own business. You make me sick. When the Indians rode through last week, where were you? Our religion forbids us to raise our hands against any man. You Mennonites cause trouble wherever you go.
Now, that's not true.
Who are you?
My name's Paladin. In Pennsylvania, the Mennonites are model citizens. They've been there since before the Revolution.
Well, this ain't Pennsylvania. Black hat, black coat, got a beard like a billy goat.
It's a filthy thing to say.
Tildy, please. Let her talk up, Blackbeard. Hildy always was one to say what was on her mind, or maybe she don't do that no more now that you stole her away.
Take that back, Judd Polk. Nobody stole me away. I wanted to live with the Mennonites. They're decent people.
I suppose you think they're better than me, huh? Or better than your own pa, maybe.
Pa's a drunken old man with no...
Tildy, it's no good quarrel. Let her talk up, you hymn-singing rabbit. You let a man slap you and do nothing?
I forgive thee.
Forgive me good, then, and turn your other cheek, Blackbeard.
No, you leave him alone.
You ain't forgot how to fight, have you, Tildy?
Leave her alone.
What did you say, mister?
I said leave her alone.
Now, wait a minute. There'll be no shooting in here.
You want to go outside?
Now, look, mister.
All right, then, get out.
What?
Get out.
Thank thee, friend, for helping. I am Bruckner.
My pleasure, Mr. Bruckner.
And this is Tildy Buchanan.
T. Buchanan?
Yes, Mr. Paladin. I'm T. Buchanan.
I hope everybody's incredible and stupendous today. I'm just drawing what I saw in my dream.
Yes, I sent for you. Mr. Bruckner wouldn't approve if he knew, but didn't know what else to do. Mr. Paladin, what's going to become of these people?
If this is a character from manga, please tell me, because
they're not easy people.
I don't remember the manga.
The way folks feel about them is my fault, because I joined them. Judd, the one you almost fought, he thinks he loves me, and he hates them for taking me in. I suppose he has reason. My father sold me to Judd for $50 a month ago.
Sold you?
When he was drunk. When I ran away, no one would take me in but the Mennonites, and now it's horrible for them. Last week their fields were burnt.
Yeah, somebody fired them?
Yes. Mr. Bruckner insists that it was a heavenly messenger, but I found a coal oil can near the fence.
How bad was the damage?
All the corn, hayfield, the only thing left is 5 acres of wheat.
And that's probably blight infested like all the rest of the wheat I've seen around here.
No, it's not.
Mr. Bruckner.
Wheat stands strong and green, Mr. Paladin. We've never been bothered with blight. Our seed comes from the old country, the Crimea. But 5 acres is pitifully small, and we've had a meeting and decided to sell our lands to Culligan and move on.
No, Mr. Bruckner, you can't.
We have little choice.
Selling to Culligan?
He's wanted to buy this land for a long time.
Mr. Bruckner, would you do me a great favor?
Of course.
Let me do your dealing with Culligan.
You must promise there will be no violence, Mr. Paladin.
Well, I can only promise you this, Mr. Bruckner. If there is any violence, it won't be my making. The following message is brought to you by the American Telephone and Telegraph Company.
So long. Have a nice trip.
Don't forget the phone.
When you're away from home this summer, put long distance to work. Most people do. Like this couple.
Smell that mountain air. I'm so glad we telephoned ahead for reservations, George, aren't you?
Oh, sure. Sure, dear.
Oh, George, now you're not worrying about business.
Well,
Why not call the office then? Get it off your mind so you can enjoy yourself.
No doubt about it. Long distance helps you have a carefree vacation. Call now while long distance rates are lowest. Remember, wherever you go this summer, go first by long distance.
The next morning, I rode into North Fork ahead of Mr. Bruckner and the others. As I passed field after field of blighted wheat burning under the sun, I kept thinking of how the Mennonites had endured silently and patiently, without raising their voices or their hands. And I told myself that I would try very hard to remember their feelings about violence.
10 cents a bushel. Well, we didn't come here to have our crops stolen. You want to eat blighted wheat yourself? Go to it. 10 cents a bushel. Take it or leave it. I reckon we got no choice. Come on inside. Hey, mister. I want to talk to you.
Who are you?
Marty Buchanan. Tildy's father. I want to talk to you about her.
You want to sell her to me now? Is that what you want?
No, look here. She put in with them Mennonites, and now you...
You make me sick, mister.
Hey, now. Sorry, Ferris, here's your money.
Well, there's nowhere's near enough, Culligan, and you know it.
Take it or leave it.
Okay.
Well, what do you want?
I want to talk to you.
See what you got to say.
The Mennonites have decided to sell. Bruckner says you offered $5 an acre. I'm representing you.
That offer included the standing crops. Now that the corn's all burnt, I'll pay $3, not a cent more.
You're a disgrace to your fellow man. You stir up prejudice that makes a mockery of everything a decent man holds valuable, while you're a vulture who can't wait to pick a meal from the dead. I just heard you with that man Ferris.
You gonna sell it or not?
No. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Culligan. I'm going to break you. There's a lot of people here who are ripe to tear you down, and all they need is a good enough reason. And I'm going to give them that reason.
The people here will stick with me. I helped them build this town right from the start. You think you'll listen to a stranger, a traveling gunslinger?
I promised the man that I wouldn't commit violence. I've never found it harder to keep my word. My talk with Culligan had been bluff, and I knew it hadn't worked. I had no idea yet what my next move should be, but I knew that the trouble at North Fork was bound to explode. It had to explode. And there was bound to be violence when it did. In the saloon, I found a corner table and sat there, nursing a drink and a 3-penny cigar.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, I got to talk to you, Mr. Paladin.
We don't have much to talk about.
Oh, can I...
Another glass or two won't make much of a difference. Sit down, help yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You're not a pretty sight, Buchanan.
You don't like me, Paladin, and there ain't no reason why you should.
That's right.
But believe me, it ain't all my fault.
No, it never is. You said you had to talk to me.
Judd Polk's out to get you.
Oh?
He just left Culligan's place. He's hired a gunfighter. He says you will never leave town alive.
Oh, why are you telling me this? Why are you concerned with Judd Polk's plans for me?
Because, Paladin, you're Tildy's last hope.
What are you talking about?
Tildy's caught right in the middle. The Mennonites won't fight for her, and I can't. I don't have the spirit for it anymore. We're drowned in 1,000 whiskey barrels.
What do you want me to do?
You've got to help Tildy find some kind of happiness. She'd kill herself before she'd marry Judd Polk. Oh, please, Mr. Paladin, will you help? Will you do something?
All right, I will. And I want you to do your part.
I will. You just tell me what I can do. I'll try hard.
Yeah.
And I'll do it.
Then find
That's
as
what
many
I
farmers
remember.
as you can. Tell them to come
She was
here.
also a redhead, but you know. Yeah, I don't know.
Constipation can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about the laxatives they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say. A laxative should be effective, gentle, as close to natural acting as possible, and a medicine that can be used with complete confidence. Now, X-Lax
more of a fight suit.
and millions of people
More of a fight suit, more of a, like, I just... That's what I remember in my dream.
X-Lax is gentle. Next morning, it gives you the closest thing to natural action. And that's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Is X-Lax in your medicine cabinet?
Yeah, my dream. I said... yeah, she was a part of my dream. If there was a manga with the kangaroo in it, it kind of had the One Piece style. I was like, is there a kangaroo in One Piece?
Yes, he's
I don't
trying
think
to
there
steal your
is.
price of $3 an acre.
Oh, no.
That's less than we paid for.
Well, don't worry. You won't get it for that. For that matter, he may not get it at all.
I don't understand.
You will. Later.
I told the farmers. I told every last one of them. And they'll be here. They'll... Oh. Hello, Tildy.
What are you doing here, Pa?
I'm trying to help Mr. Paladin.
I don't trust you, Pa.
Tildy, I done a lot of wrong things, but I do love you. And I wouldn't do you no more harm. You nor any of the good people.
You've been for driving us out of the country, Mr. Buchanan.
Oh, that's right, I have.
Here, you see, you admit it.
Tildy, please, let him explain.
Well, the way I figured it, Tildy, your only chance for a decent life was to get away from North Fork and from me.
What?
I hope that if the Mennonites left, you'd go with them. Then you'd be free of everything here.
Pa.
I don't care if you believe me or not, any of you, but just help Tildy get away.
Look out. Mr. Paladin, are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you all right, Mr. Paladin?
I know.
Are you okay, Mr. Paladin?
Paladin, there's Judd.
Hold it, folks. Right where you are.
Now, wait a minute, Paladin. You don't want to kill me. Not over a worthless piece of trash like her.
Judd, this is for a lot of people.
So yeah, I had this character in my head, so I wanted to get her out before I forgot her.
I've never seen a sorrier collection of people trying to call itself a town. You're not a town, you're a mob. And you'll always be a mob until you start thinking for yourselves. You, Ferris. How did the blight affect you this year?
Lost most of my crop. Had to sell it for fodder.
And the rest of these people, how'd they do?
A lot of them lost everything.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Now, these Mennonites whom you've been trying to drive out of town have got seed that resists blight.
Yeah? I never heard of blight-free wheat.
There are 5 acres of it on the Mennonite farms.
What good does that do us?
How much would you charge for seed, Mr. Bruckner?
Mr. Paladin, we came here hoping it'd be our new home. We want to be good neighbors. Good neighbor never acts like a businessman. We have plenty of this seed, enough to give some to everybody so that they can develop seed of their own.
Anyone who takes that offer can start looking for another place to get their supplies. We'll take our chances, Culligan. And you go out of business in no time, because no one will deal with you. Somebody else will open a decent store here to replace you. Mr. Bruckner, I'm Tom Ferris. That's Bill Holy over there, and Carl Runyon there, and Ed Tatum over there. Well, what I'm saying is, we haven't been very good neighbors, Mr. Bruckner, but we'd like to be.
Mr. Paladin, you've been back from North Fork 3 days now.
That's right.
And every day since you've been back, we take a walk.
Right.
We saw 1 day along Noble Hill, 1 day through Chinatown. And today we walk from one end of Embarcadero to other. What I want to know is why.
Well, I like this town, hey, boy. And the more I see of other places, the more I like San Francisco.
Oh, you saw about well, I like it, San Francisco, too, but not when I run all over it.
We're not running all over it.
Oh, maybe not you, but hey, boy, that's to keep up.
Oh. I'll slow down. There. That better?
Oh, you saw. Thank you very much.
Oh, say, hey, boy, how's your romance coming along?
Oh, romance?
Miss Wong.
Oh, not too good, no. Take her to dinner night you leave for North Fork. Don't see her again for 2 days.
What happened?
Started out to have dinner at a restaurant of Uncle, but changed his mind. He saw. Go to Italian restaurant instead. Eat a lot of food, drink your wine, laugh, tell jokes, and next thing he's along in bed with fat stomach. Oh, cannot digest elaborate food. Ooh, she mad at me. Oh, she said, hey, boy, next time we go to dinner, we go to a nice Chinese restaurant, eat nice, plain Chinese food. Like egg roll, almond duck, sweet sour pork, water chestnut or bird nest soup, wonton, sumai, tiki gum, fried shrimp, soy sauce, moo moo gai
Car owners, have you ever heard of K-Site Smooth Seal? Why, no. Why, no. Is it new? What's it do? Well, this is off the record. Just between us boys, your automatic transmission, does it ever make a noise?
You mean a little kind of grinding?
Does that little chatter matter?
I hear a very
weird whir sometimes. It doesn't sound good, boys, but let's be sure. When you're sitting at the light and it goes to green, you put your foot down hard. Have you ever felt a sort of a jerk? A kind of a jar? Or heaven help you, a real thud bump? Oh, I've felt it. Me too. I've had it, stranger. What do we do? Well, don't buy a horse and don't trade your car. Just get yourself a new K-Site Smooth Seal. New K-Site Smooth Seal? New K-Site Smooth Seal? New K-Site Smooth Seal? How will that help? Why, it's made to soften those shrunken seals, which are apt to leak when there's power on the wheels. It stops those thud bumps, jerks, and jars that are apt to creep into these modern cars. Why, this K-Site Smooth Seal in one application can pack them all off on a long vacation. And it's less than $2 at your service station. A little new K-Site Smooth Seal, boys? Come on. I'll go. And if it doesn't work, you get double your money back.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonald and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Irving Rubine and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lou Krugman, Joseph Kearns, Jess Kirkpatrick, Harry Bartell, and Vic Perrin. Congratulations to station WDBJ, Roanoke, Virginia, which celebrated its 35th anniversary on the air June 20, 1959. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Bam. That's the right one.
I don't need a gun for you, mister. You're all eaten up with fear and hate. The most you can hope for now is a fast death. Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin,
Hmm? Oh, yes, Miss Wong.
you want light for a cigar?
Oh, I didn't realize I hadn't lighted it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I noticed you sit here a long time to study item in newspaper.
Yeah, sort of turned back the clock. This is the Hammond Sentinel, last week's edition. I'll read you the item.
Oh,
Deathbed confession clears Ed Stacy. Dying of gunshot wounds suffered in a futile attempt to rob the Overland stage. Joe Barnes, a former driver, confessed to another holdup 2 years ago and exonerated Ed Stacy, who had been convicted of the crime and sentenced to a long term in prison.
oh, so.
See, Miss Wong, 2 years ago, I brought Ed Stacy back for trial.
Oh. You have pain from conscience, but you only do job, Mr. Paladin.
That's what I've been telling myself.
Yes, you tell yourself.
But at the same time, I don't like to feel that I've been responsible for taking 2 years out of an innocent man's life.
Oh, but it's done. It's over now.
I'm not so sure. Here's the rest of the newspaper report. Will Stanhope, president of the Overland Line, announced he would personally arrange for Stacy's release and expressed profound regret at the miscarriage of justice.
Oh, it's a good.
Sounds fine, doesn't it?
Oh, he's very fine.
Well, that telegram you delivered to me a half an hour ago was from this same Will Stanhope. Now, what did I do with him?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, here. Listen. Need you. Life in danger. Come at once.
My, how unfortunate. Oh, what you plan, Mr. Paladin?
Well, he says at once.
At once.
I guess I better get started.
Hello, this is Marvin Miller with another page from your American Heritage Scrapbook. In the 17th and 18th centuries, newly discovered America offered breathing space for the cramped peoples of Europe. But no one could guess how rapidly the vast unsettled wilderness could be tamed. Englishmen arriving in Jamestown and Plymouth were beset by famine, disease, and hostile Indians. They were lucky to survive at all. Populating the colonies was a slow and arduous process. But due largely to the great Puritan migration from Europe, by 1641, some 50,000 English settlers had reached North America. 75 years later, this continuous migration from Europe and the British Isles had brought the colonial population to 435,000. On the eve of the Revolution in 1775, 2.5 million people inhabited the 13 colonies, approximately 1/3 of the population of all Great Britain. The first federal census in 1790 disclosed that less than 3% of the population were in towns of more than 10,000.
It's Stanhope's way.
Now, look
Everybody in town's handling things his way, and I'm up to here with it.
Easy there, boy.
I was willing to forget that Stanhope in this town cost me 2 years out of my life. I just wanted a chance to start over, but you won't let me. You're pushing me around, treat me like I was really a criminal.
Now, Ed, this is...
A man can take just so much pushing around, Paladin. You gonna take my brother to jail?
I have to, Ed.
All right. Stanhope, we'll play this your way from now on. Since I've already put in 2 years for nothing, I got something real big coming right out of your hide.
Yeah, you heard him, Sheriff. He threatened me. I demand protection.
You'll get it when I see that you need it.
Paladin?
You didn't play straight with me. You didn't tell me you were trying to crowd Stacy out.
Well, I gave you that $3,000 for him.
After setting him up so he'd have to take it and leave town or lose everything.
I had to do it, Paladin. He would have killed me.
He didn't want any part of you. But whatever happens from now on, you can blame yourself, Stanhope. Here. Your money. Hire an army with it. I'd had enough of hammering. But without a horse, I was at the mercy of Will Stanhope's stage line, and I had to wait over. It was just before dawn when I was awakened by the commotion outside on the street. I got out of bed and opened the window.
You men making circles. Try to head them off.
Sheriff! Sheriff, up here!
Yeah?
What happened?
They just busted Ben Stacy out of jail.
Did Ed do it?
No, it wasn't Ed. It was Dan and Floyd. They work for Ed.
Ah.
Seems like they're fixing for real trouble.
He said it, Sheriff.
Said what?
A man can take just so much pushing around. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
Morning, Sheriff.
Your men bring in Stacy?
No, clean getaway. You leaving on the stage?
Yeah.
You know you'll be sharing your seat with a shotgun rider?
Shotgun guard riding inside. Was it something new?
Stanhope's orders.
Oh?
The trap. He figures now that Ed and Ben Stacy will hit one of the stages sooner or later. Wants it to look easy for him.
Mr. Stanhope has a talent for conniving.
Yeah, he wants to get him real bad. Even offered a reward.
Before they've done anything?
Well, it says for catching or killing anybody who tries to hold up an overland stage. Guess we know what he means. $3,000.
At the Three Forks station, we had a 10-minute stopover to change teams. I went inside to have a glass of rye. The place was empty, except for the bartender with his hands high, and Ed and Ben Stacy with their revolvers leveled.
Don't try anything, Paladin.
Using up your 2 years in a hurry, aren't you?
Didn't figure them as any more than a deposit.
Why waste them on me?
Not you, Paladin. The stage. Dan and Floyd are taking care of it right now. I'm just making sure nobody bothers them. Hey, Ben.
Yes.
Watch my door back there.
Sure.
You, bartender. Keep your hands up and your mouth shut.
Driver and shotgun are out of the way.
Stanhope had you pegged.
He pegged me 2 years ago. You ever hear the one about if you have the name, you might as well play the game?
You don't have the name yet.
It won't be long now.
Well, this time there'll be no mistake about it. This time you'll serve out your sentence.
If they get me.
Well, they'll get you sooner or later.
Not before I make Stanhope sweat.
You going to make a fugitive out of Ben, too? Hmm?
Why don't you shut up?
Big, simple Ben, whose only concern in life is protecting you? When a posse comes after you, do you figure him to stop the slug meant for you?
Ellen, you got a big mouth.
And you've got a small brain. Taking this risk for some stupid idea of revenge. Revenge against a man who isn't worth it to begin with.
Hey, Ed, Floyd, and Dan, they're coming. They got it.
Well, let's go, Ed. We got the strong box. Put it back, Dan.
What?
Put it back, I said.
You gone crazy? You think we went through this whole thing for nothing?
For the last time, put it back and cut out.
We'll cut out, but we're taking the money with us, huh, Floyd?
Listen, you want to stop us. If I have to, don't try it.
Thank you for showing up, men. This won't take long now. This is the deposition of the bartender at Three Forks Station, witnessed by Mr. Paladin here. Now, according to this, these men, Floyd Smith and Dan Angus, tried to rob the stage, and Ben and Ed Stacy stopped them, shot them down. That right, Mr. Paladin?
Yeah.
Nice work, Ed. Ben?
Thanks.
Now, you hold on, Sheriff. These men are liable to arrest. Wreck in my office, jailbreak.
That's right. I fine you both $25 for disturbing the peace.
Fine.
I'm the sheriff here, Mr. Stanhope. I hand out the sentences.
What about the damages to my office?
Well, I suggest that you deduct the repairs from the reward you posted.
Reward?
For the capture or death of anyone who attempts to rob an overland stage. That's the way it read, didn't it, Sheriff?
Sure did.
$3,000.
Yeah, the colors. All the colors. Oh, thank you, Raven. How you been?
Nice to have you home.
How's everything been?
Well, I think so, Miss Wong. Of course, there are those who might question. You see, there was a little matter of convincing a certain bartender that he didn't see what he thought he saw. For a certain sum of money, you understand.
That's why I was being such a bitch.
I understand. Bribery.
I was trying to do a hard brush on a soft
I can
brush.
truthfully say that I...
Oh, no.
I have no pain
Oh,
from conscience.
no. Yeah, no, the highlights are really turning this. about that? Is that a little bit better? Is it just a little bit, tiny bit better? I'll try to be a little bit more quiet. It's okay.
Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe,
I just,
and directed by Norman Macdonald.
you know, I want to make sure that you're doing well. If you're sensitive to sound, I don't want to hurt your
The
ears.
next story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by Ann Dowd.
I don't want my friend to be hurting. I want them to enjoy the stream.
Barney Phillips, Lou Krugman,
Want them to be like, oh man, this stream is comfy. I want people to feel comfy in the stream.
Join us again next week for Have Guns, Will Travel.
I'll try to be as accommodating as possible. Oh, it's okay. I've known people that have high anxiety and other things like that. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I don't have to work in the deli today, so I'm doing fan-fucking-tastic. I don't have to fucking... I will still have to go to work today, but I'm doing better.
San Francisco.
Because I hate the deli.
Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
But, other than that, I've been doing great. That looks... Yeah, that looks like white silk. Yeah. I was just worried if that wasn't looking white silky enough and stuff like that. I might change her glove color, though. Just not going to be that difficult.
Oh, I certainly do, but why the mask, Miss Wong?
Who's going to masquerade party in Chinatown tonight? I take it, hey, boy.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, big problem.
Diesel
with
like
Hey, boy.
this.
Well, that's no problem.
Oh, it's a big problem. He wears cowboy hat, leather pants,
Bam,
big boots, everything.
But what is his problem?
Spurs.
Oh.
Big spurs. Mr. Paladin, please give him
Undo that.
information on how to
Undo that last selection, but we'll try to... I'm doing wonderful, and I'm glad you came in. And if you need to leave, I understand. I'm just glad that you're here.
You come down, please?
Yes, of course. I'll come down as soon as I finish packing.
Did you take another trip?
Yes, another trip.
Oh, you travel so much, Mr. Paladin. Where are you going this time?
Up around the Little Bighorn.
Oh, Little Big Horn.
Well, that's a river, Miss Wong, in Montana Territory. All right, come on. Let's get the hay boy untangled from his spurs.
You know, I guess just about the most popular sport in the world, everywhere in the world, is fishing. You hear a lot of discussion among American sportsmen, which is better, the dry fly or the wet fly, still fishing or trolling, lake, stream, or ocean. Everyone has his own ideas about this sport of fishing, and he goes after it in his own way. Well, that's true all over the world. As our servicemen have observed, there are a lot of different ways of catching fish. In Borneo, for example, the natives crush the berries of a certain shrub, and the juice poisons the fish of a river without spoiling them as food. In Africa, South America, and Alaska, a spear or harpoon is used. In Japan, trained birds called cormorants are sent diving down into the water to bring up fish. In some Pacific islands, nets are used. In others, the bow and arrow is the favorite method of getting fish for supper. Well, what's true about fishing is true about other customs and traditions around the world. The way of doing things may be different, but the ideals are the same. No one way is right or wrong. It's just what suits the individuals best. These customs are important to the people who follow them. And our servicemen are helping to maintain goodwill by observing the customs of other people in other lands.
My problem was to find an Army deserter named Henry Carver. persuade him to go back to his outfit. It seems he'd deserted in order to rescue a girlfriend from a marriage that was being forced on her. He was asking for money from his family to help him escape into Canada. He and the girl would be at the Billings waterhole. Montana was no place to be at this time. The Sioux were being pressed by the Army to go back to the reservation. I saw a lot of Indian signs. Several times there were Indian smoke signals in the far hills. Then I saw the waterhole. But someone saw me first. Hey, don't shoot! Where are you?
Keep riding, mister.
You Corporal Carver?
Who are you?
My name is Paladin. Your mother sent me.
Did she send the money?
No.
Then get out of here.
Now, wait. Let me talk to you.
Now, don't come any closer. We got nothing to talk about. You get back on that horse and ride out of here.
Henry, maybe he can help us.
Becky, you stay out of this. Go on, mister. Start moving.
Any message for your mother?
Yeah. Tell her Becky and me'll make Canada on our own.
Maybe you won't.
What are you talking about?
A troop of cavalry.
What? Becky, stay here.
No, you stay out of sight. They may be looking for you.
No. Don't try anything. I got this rifle pointed at your heart.
All right. Look. Down there.
You're right. It is a troop of cavalry. What are we going to do, mister?
We? They're not after me.
You came to help me?
I came because your mother asked me to.
Well, then...
Now, go on. Get back where you were. They're probably just coming in for a water break.
Maybe. Don't try to trick us. I'll still have you covered.
Go on. Hurry. Captain.
Who are you?
John Keel.
What
Well,
a sight to see in the middle of nowhere.
John Keel. Say, that's right, Captain Keel.
How long's it been, Paladin? 6, 7 years?
Oh, I'm not sure. You came through San Francisco.
There we go. Food needs more oven time. Oven time. Food needs oven time. I changed the color from green to blue. So now the motif works. Yay. Yay. I like her having blue instead of green. Just, it's nicer. Nice. What you cooking? What you nibbling? What you gonna be nibbling on? What you gonna be nibble on?
Dolan, you better come. Maybe the man you're looking for is around here.
Alright, I gotta finish the eyes. I always forget the eyes.
On June 15th,
Ever from the very ground. Oh man, you're making pulled pork from the ground up, I see.
There he placed the royal
My goodness. My goodness. They better watch out for you. They're like, oh my gosh. Raven can do that? No way. That's so Raven. I can't help myself. It's funny.
Thus, the Magna Carta, written in England almost 750 years ago, became an
Nice and
important
slow.
source of
Ooh.
American democracy.
Nice slow cook.
Contributions of the past
Yeah.
become the principles.
Yeah. I'm bringing it back, Raven.
See anything?
Actually, you know what? You're bringing it back.
Sign it all. That's good.
That's right. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Hey, you married yet, Paladin?
No.
Anime eyes are the
Move around
worst.
too much for that.
You ought to see the
Anime
fine
eyes
family I
are the
got back
worst. They're
at Fort
so
Lincoln.
difficult sometimes to
Like 4
just
kids.
fucking do.
For you.
And this is my last
Yeah.
field trip. Next week I go out. I plan to get a piece of land and teach those kids of mine how to live off it.
Where are you going now?
Rejoin the battalion on Rosebud Creek.
Not far from here?
Oh, at half a day.
Who's your command now?
George Custer. Remember him?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
But yeah,
What about you, Mr.
everything.
Dolan? It's a dangerous country to be traveling in.
I'm here on a personal matter.
Oh,
Hunting a kid and a girl, a soldier boy.
is that right?
Yay!
The boy made off with her. I traced
Yay! Hooray!
Well, if I run into him, I'll give him your regards.
Well, it's someone that's gotten the shot.
Suit yourself. Well, good luck to you, pal.
I'm pretty okay.
San Francisco for me.
I'm dandy.
I watched Captain Heyo and his men leave. He and I had been in the war together.
Hmm.
If it hadn't been for the business of the Carver boy, I'd have ridden
Okay,
on.
well, you know, just take it slow. You'll be okay.
Around the rock toward Carver. Only
I
the
know
road
it's scary. You know, do what's best for your health.
I don't know.
I'm right in back of you, Paladin. Don't try anything.
Give yourself up, Carver.
Maybe you ought to, Henry.
Don't talk like that. Get moving, pal.
And
My
then
way.
do the highlights in the eyes.
Get on your horse.
All right.
It's going to be a soft light.
Give me that rifle.
Soft light. And like that. There we go.
He's not shot.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna save you from
Aww.
yourself.
He always gives you, he's your calm. Aww. That's
Hey, here's
so
a question
cute.
I'd like to put to you. How much do you appreciate the things that make life just a little easier? For instance, take the way our teenage gals dress for a Saturday night dance. All glamorous like just regular walk-in fashion plates. And when they get to the dance,
I mean,
there's a
I don't know why
super
they'd be
combo
mad
that
at
they give
you.
out
They
to
love
you.
you.
Let's go back to
Why
spell.
would they be mad at
Around
you?
1790, and see what the teenage gals were wearing.
I
then.
mean, maybe I don't understand your family structure.
It's Sunday afternoon, and the gals are
But
attending
as
a
far
rare
as I
social
know,
gathering.
love is.
Every last one of them is dressed in a plain, homemade linsey woolsey
Aw.
dress dyed with butternut or walnut juice. And there isn't a
I'm
frill
glad you
or bright
found that
colored
special
ribbon to be seen.
someone.
They don't cotton to
One
16
day I hope to find that special some gal as
all
well.
They're spinning wheels and looms with them. While they sit and talk, their fingers
I'll find
get
her.
busy.
It takes time, but I'll
Stockings to
find
be
her.
made for everybody in the family. Mittens and shawls for the winter. Maybe a pot holder or two to protect mother's hands from the homemade iron pot. What do they talk about? Mostly about the time when they'll get married and have their own families to take care of. And sometimes when the Indians put a surprise attack on the fort, the gals are called out to take their place at the stockade to keep the muskets loaded, or maybe fire one themselves. Yeah, that's what a
You
weekend
know,
date
I
is
think
for
you're.
the gals.
I think you're gonna find that it's better that they're disappointed for a minute instead of finding out that you're not. You didn't enjoy the trip and you couldn't enjoy the trip. Look, I understand about disappointing people, but you find that being honest with people is the best policy. You find it's better to, you know, make them disappointed at the beginning instead of making them disappointed during it.
It's not his fault. He didn't just run away. I begged him to help me.
He was in the service. It was his duty to stay
But
there.
since your boyfriend can talk to them, that'll be good. It'll be, you won't and you're not going to disappoint them. They're just gonna be like, oh man, I don't get to hang out with Raven.
Still deserted.
Mr. Paladin, there's something you should know.
As someone who loves their
It
family.
won't make any difference to him.
We're married, Mr. Paladin.
Because I'm super
The day
scared
after
of
we ran
competitions.
Well, my best
Hopefully
wishes
will
to you,
help me
Mrs.
get
Carver.
it up and out.
However,
in
your
the
husband's
open,
right. That
because the
doesn't make
level
any
of panic will be easier under control.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up.
What now?
Looks like there was a camp here not long back.
Yeah.
Indian?
I don't know.
Yeah. He can help you out.
What is it? Canteen. Stamped 7th U.S. Cavalry.
The 7th?
Yeah. With your outfit, Corporal. From the look of it, it was a large group. Larger than Heyo's. Well, let's get out of here.
What is it? What are you listening?
You hear it?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And then you'll and if you can't go out, that's totally fine. If you feel scared to go out, that's totally fine. Now, an actual rose doesn't have highlights, but I'm gonna give it a few highlights. Just a little bit of a highlight. Nothing too shiny, just enough that it has a highlight.
Why are you so worried, Mr. Paladin?
Yeah.
What makes you think I am?
But you got this, Raven. You know I believe in you.
Sound you changed, like something's bothering you.
Paladin, look.
What?
That horse. On top of that ridge over there.
Yeah, I see him. Hey, you got a saddle on him. Let's ride up there. Come on, boy.
Maybe his owner's foraging.
Maybe.
He's just barely moving.
Paladin, that's a cavalry saddle.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That's Captain Keogh's horse. Ooh. Oh, no, boy.
Yeah.
Here now. Here, boy. Come at you. Easy. Easy, boy. Easy. Good Lord. This horse has been shot.
What do you think happened?
You got this,
I'll bring it down,
Raven.
help me doctor this horse. Then we'll look for
You're
Captain
gonna be like, oh man, I didn't have this, but now I got this.
Watch your horses don't slip.
What are we going down here for, Paladin?
I gotta find out what happened to Keogh.
Comanche seems better, Mr. Paladin.
Yeah. Come on, let's head down that draw.
What the? Drop your gun, Paladin. We got you from both sides. Dolan.
There. Like I got my bride back. And our friend, the deserter, too.
You can't do anything now, Mr. Dolan. We're married.
We'll talk about that later. Thanks, Paladin, for delivering them up. I saw you coming a long ways back.
What happened to the cavalry, Dolan?
I left them this morning. There was a lot of Indian signs, so we turned back. It's a lucky thing we might have missed you. All right, boys, get them off the trail to the clearing, and then get that noose ready. We got a deserter to hang.
With our American servicemen in many countries around the world, they have a wonderful opportunity to observe new customs and traditions. What might have seemed strange before is becoming pretty familiar to them. For instance, among the Mohammedans, to drink coffee with anybody is regarded as a sacred rule of hospitality, a token of peace. The berries are roasted over a charcoal fire, and the coffee is allowed to boil 3 times. It's thickly sugared and served in very small cups. All this is traditional among the Mohammedans, but as our servicemen have observed, it's simply their version of our mid-morning coffee break or our afternoon tea party or our cocktail hour. It's a time for friends to sit down and relax. It's a time for conversation with a cup of whatever beverage suits the individual taste. And this is true of customs and traditions of all countries. The way of doing things may be different, but the ideals are the same. So it is by observing these customs that our servicemen are helping to maintain goodwill with other people in other lands.
and the two men forced us towards a big tree in a clearing nearby. One man threw a rope.
All right. Thank you for being here for any amount of time. You know you're amazing, Raven. Stay positive and stay as amazing as possible.
Get out of here. Swat that horse out from under it.
No, please don't do it. I'll do anything you say.
Well, you will anyway. Now go on, boys. Do it.
You go have yourself an eat. You go eat and enjoy. I shall try to get this done before you get back.
Yes, he's dead.
And I've got his gun, Mr. Paladin, pointed right at you. So drop that daring.
Now, Becky, don't do this.
Drop the gun.
All right. But you're not going to win anything this way.
Henry and I can get to Canada.
Oh, can you? There's a cavalry patrol coming this way.
Where?
Becky, quit talking and get this rope off of me.
The patrol just kept coming on, as though they hadn't seen anything. The kids were riding up the hillside. I mounted and started after them. They'd stopped at the top. Carver and the girl sat their horses, staring down the other side as I rode up. Ooh, Carver, what's the matter?
Paladin. Look. Down there.
What is it? Good Lord.
It's the 7th Cavalry.
No one's moving, Mr. Paladin.
They've been slaughtered. They're all dead. My outfit.
Oh, Henry, don't please. What could you have done except die with them?
That's what I could have done.
You're there. Yeah?
I'm Lieutenant Bradley, Chief of Scouts for Colonel Dillon. We're looking for General Custer's command.
Down there. By the river. You'll find all of them.
Good. Thanks, mister.
Oh, no. They must have been ambushed. Or massacred by Indians.
No survivors could come out of that.
Well, there is a survivor, Lieutenant. There's a horse.
There's another survivor, Lieutenant.
Oh, Henry, don't do it.
Lieutenant, I'm Corporal Henry Carver. I deserted from the 7th Cavalry. I want to turn myself in.
Oh, Henry, please.
Becky, try to understand. I couldn't go with you now. Not till I've done what I have to do.
All right, Corporal. Fall in with us.
Hold on.
Why, Mr. Paladin? Why did he turn himself in? They won't care now.
He will. He was a part of the 7th Cavalry, Becky. He was a part of other men. Come on. I'll take you home. Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Norman McDonald, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Heyboy. Tonight's story was written by Irving Wallace and adapted for radio by Tom Hanley. Featured in the cast were Sam Edwards, Barbara Eiler, Vic Perrin, and Jack Miles.
Have Gun Will Travel is brought to you through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
petting this boy's ears right now. He's getting you pettings.
You must be proud of yourself, mister. You've turned your son into a killer. And he's going to enjoy the same kind of life you have, if he lives long enough.
Have gun. Will travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin, here is brandy you order.
Thank you, boy. Just set it down.
Mr. Paladin, wine stewards say this brandy very special, also very expensive.
Oh. Very palatable.
Yes, sake cheaper and faster, but sometimes cause you much trouble.
You know, boy, here in the West, it's water that causes the real trouble.
Oh, no, Mr. Paladin, water. Whoever got into trouble because they drink too much water?
Well, listen. This item in today's paper. Benedict, Wyoming. The refusal of a local rancher to permit access to the sole remaining source of water in this drought-stricken area has resulted in the deaths of 2 men and threatened open warfare.
Oh, too bad. Hey, Mr. Paladin, you plan to offer services in interest of drought-stricken area?
As a matter of fact, I have a letter to Mr. Wellman of Benedict, Wyoming. Here, ready to mail. Will you take care of it?
Oh, yes. Anything else, Mr. Paladin?
Yes. You might bring me another brandy.
Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should, because
There's filter blend up front right ahead of the filter. And the flavor you get in a Winston cigarette comes from filter blend. Filter blend means fine tobacco, filter blend up front. And the flavor you get in a Winston cigarette comes from filter blend.
Filter blend is a mighty good reason for you to smoke Winston, because it means tobacco specially processed for filter smoking. A Winston secret. You get Winston's own pure white modern filter, plus the rich, delightful flavor of fine tobacco.
There's filter blend up front right ahead of the filter. And the fun you get in a Winston cigarette comes from filter blend. And makes Winston taste good like a cigarette should. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
It was mid-morning when I rode into Benedict. The town was hot, dusty, and quiet. There was a feeling of tension in the air and uneasiness, a waiting for something to happen. I tied my horse to the hitching rail and went into the saloon.
Well,
Glass of rye.
You might as well fill mine again, Barney.
Okay, Jeff.
Hot.
Yeah,
Pretty quiet town.
no more than most.
You live around here?
Yep.
How do I get to the Wellman Ranch?
Take the North Road, about 3 miles.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah? It'll be $1.
You a friend of the Wellmans?
No.
Looking for work, then?
In a way. What's going on here? What's everyone waiting for?
For me to get killed.
Jeff, Casey just rode into town.
Guess the waiting's about done. That squares us, Barney. Maybe I'll see you, mister.
He was slender, rangy, maybe 19. Too young for the troubled seriousness in his eyes as he walked out of the saloon. When I got outside, he was already standing in the thick, white dust of the street, steady, watching the man advancing toward him.
Don't, Casey. There's no sense to this. You want an apology? All right, I apologize. It's no good, Casey. Listen to me, please. You know you...
Excuse me, mister. Have to get my horse.
You killed that man.
I know. Guess the town will have to keep on waiting. There's a job open at the Wellmans now. His.
Tiggle rabbit.
The drought had taken its toll at the Wellman Ranch. The house stood still and desolate in an expanse of bare, scorched earth. I rode into the yard and dismounted. Then I led my horse to the watering trough. It was empty. I tried the hand pump.
I'm sorry, it's dry.
Huh? Oh. How do you do, ma'am?
I can let you have a bucket from the kitchen pump if you like.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. It's been a long ride.
Just come on in and help yourself.
Fine. My name is Paladin. I'm here to see Mr. Wellman.
Well, he should be back soon. The pump's by the sink. It'll need priming.
Thank you.
Mister,
Yes?
you just come from town.
Yes.
Did anything happen?
Man was killed, if that's what you mean.
You know who?
His name is Casey, I believe. I understand he worked for you.
Oh, no. I was afraid when I saw him start away this morning. Jeff did it.
Jeff? Yes.
So senseless, over nothing. And there'll be more.
Now, this Jeff didn't want to kill him. He tried to stop him.
Oh, boy, poor Jeff.
No, Jeff's alive.
Arthur, Casey's dead. Young Calvert gun. Who are you?
He's Mr. Paladin. He just told me about it.
I passed through Benedict on my way out here. I saw it happen.
You're Paladin, huh? Think you can stand up to Calvert?
If there's a good reason.
That's your job. Get rid of him.
Well, I don't think we understand each other. I offered my services to help you get water.
Here. This is your car, isn't it? The one you sent me?
Yeah?
Have gun, will travel. That only means one thing as far as I'm concerned, and it's the only reason I hired you.
And we've both made a mistake, Mr. Wellman. I'm not an executioner.
Constipation can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say. A laxative should be effective, gentle, as close to natural acting as possible, and a medicine that can be used with complete confidence. Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is gentle. Next morning, it gives you the closest thing to natural action. And that's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Is X-Lax in your medicine cabinet?
Yeah.
The heat rose off the dry, parched earth to hang in the air and sear every breath. I was well on my way back to town when I heard someone coming up behind me fast.
Paladin! Paladin, wait!
It's just
Paladin?
just a bit.
I'm sorry.
Just
I was upset about Casey. I wasn't thinking straight, but I need your help. We all do.
I told you, Wellman, I didn't offer that kind of help.
Look, can I talk to you or not?
Go ahead.
We're desperate, Paladin. Our water holes are dried up. Even our deep wells are going dry. Another week of this and our herds will be buzzard bait. Calvert's trying to ruin us.
Now, why should a boy like that want to ruin you?
The boy, I'm not talking about Jeff. It's his father, Roy Calvert. He owns the 6-iron over in the valley.
Roy Calvert?
Yeah.
There was a gunfighter by that name.
The same man. Bought the ranch here 3 years ago.
Well, what's he done? What's he got to do with your water supply?
Now, there's a lake behind his ranch fed by underground springs. It never runs dry. Calvert's land crosses the mouth of the valley. It's the only approach to the lake. Now he's fenced it off, won't let our herds through.
Well, there must be some local ordinance about that, an easement or right-of-way.
And there's nothing in writing. Folks just always used the lake whenever there's been a dry spell. Calvert let us through the first year he come, but not now.
Why not?
I don't know. 2 weeks ago, Harry Craig got mad, tried to drive his herd through. Young Calvert killed 2 of his men. Well, his father's turned him into a worse killer than he was himself. I'll tell you right now, Paladin, the only way to break Calvert is to get that boy.
Well, what do you really want, Mr. Wellman? Water or Jeff's hide?
I want results, fast.
All right. I'll get them for you, but in my own way.
What are you going to do?
Talk with Calvert. At the gateway of the 6-iron ranch, I wondered if I was heading into trouble. I could hear gunshots. I dismounted and moved toward the sound. When I reached the corner of the barn, I realized what was happening.
Yeah.
There was a crudely drawn
Oh,
silhouette of a
goodness,
man
baby
on the
boy,
barn
stay
wall.
here.
Roy Calvert was working with his son.
Good, but you're a little late. The second shot hit too high.
But I hit him. He'd have been hurt.
That's not good enough. How many times do I have to tell you, when you fire, every shot's got to kill. Hurt ain't enough. From the armpits to the waist, that's your target, nowhere else.
Good advice if all you want to do is kill.
Who are you? What do you want?
5 minutes of conversation. The name's Paladin.
Paladin. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Did you get that job at the Wellmans?
Anybody who works for Wellman has no business here.
Anybody who would deprive his neighbors of water has no business being a rancher.
So that's it.
Can we talk it over?
Let me show you something. Then you decide how much there is to talk over.
I followed Calvert through the yard, and on past the ranch house, to a pleasant tree-shaded knoll that overlooked the valley below.
Frederick, this was
There's all I got to say, pal.
Grab some water.
That's my wife's grave. Miss Tom put her there. 20 years we were married. Kind woman she was. Good, patient. Lonely. So lonely.
You must have loved her very much. Takes that for a man like you to give up his gun.
Waiting for it to
I turned to this ranch because I wanted her to have a place where she could say hello to somebody and they wouldn't
So
look
much
past her.
fun, red to red.
Somebody talk to her. Pass the time of day like ordinary folks.
Pet the bunny.
Name Calvert was a death sentence to more than 20 men. Did you think he could hide it?
Nobody'd have known except for Wellman. He found out and passed the word around.
And she was alone again.
Yeah. Gunslinger's wife. Killer's wife. When she took sick, nobody came to call except the doctor. Then she died. I loved her very much. This town killed her, now I'm gonna kill this town.
Calvert, the ranchers will drive their way through.
He tried it once. It cost him.
Maybe next time it'll cost you.
Not likely. With Jeff playing my hand.
I have more respect for a man who plays his own. Calvert had been hurt, badly. But now the ranchers in the town were being hurt. Somewhere it had to end. I went back to see Wellman at his place. I found him by the corral, his horse saddled and ready.
Well, Calvert gonna let us through?
Wellman, I can't undo 3 years of hate in one afternoon. Calvert told me about his wife.
Wife? But well, what do you mean? We never had anything to do with her.
I know. That's just
Petting
it.
that boy,
You know,
he
if we can't
needs
use
the
that lake,
love.
we're wiped out. Now, can we get through or not?
As of right
Ah,
now,
it's
no.
rendered.
And we'll have to
Yay.
drive our way through, and you take
Yay,
care
I
of the
can
boy.
send that off
Before, I'll do this job my way.
later
You're working for me, Paladin.
when I'm not on stream.
I'm going out for a meeting with the other ranchers. If you're with us, get rid of young Calvert. If not,
Yeah.
Mr. Paladin. Mr. Paladin, wait. You're leaving?
I can't do this his way.
Oh, then he'll go ahead without you, him and the others.
Yeah, looks that way.
They'll be fighting and shooting. Men will be killed. Men with wives and families. Mr. Paladin, please.
Now, just wait a minute, Mrs. Wellman. Are you asking me to kill Jeff?
I'm asking you to measure one life against many.
Car owners, I have news of a product so new, it's amazing it's here today at all. It's new K-Site Smooth Seal.
You say it's new?
You say it's new?
So it's new. What does it do?
Well, it's a fluid you add to your automatic transmission. Automatic transmission. It stops the leaks in your transmission and makes it smooth and quiet.
Makes it smooth?
Makes it quiet?
How can I tell if I should try it?
That's easy. You're stopped, see, and you start to go, and you give it the gas pretty good. If you hear a sort of whirring or grinding noise, if you feel a jerk or jolt or jar, then your transmission just isn't up to par.
Grinding noises?
Jars and jerks.
That's how my transmission works.
Boys, if that's the case, then you've got a case for new K-Site Smooth Seal.
New K-Site Smooth Seal? How will that help?
Well, it's made to soften those shrunken seals and smooth out the shifting when there's power on the wheels. If you heard a whirring or felt a jar when you pull away in your modern car, you are a man who needs a can. Just $1.95, and it works while you drive. Anyone here for K-Site Smooth Seal?
Hit me.
I'm in.
If it doesn't do the job,
You get double your money back.
What are you doing back here again, Paladin? If you're working for Wellman, sooner or later we'll shoot it out.
Oh, it's a sneezing rabbit. Oh no, he's just a baby.
You think I want to stand out there watching someone come at me like Casey this morning and know I had to kill him?
Did you have to?
He'd have killed me.
That's your excuse this time. What'll it be next?
Poor baby.
He asked for it over nothing.
Jeff, when you set yourself up as the fastest gun, there'll be men making you prove it until the day you can't.
Paladin, haven't we had enough talk?
This time you listen, Calvert. Wellman's getting the other ranchers together. They're going to drive their way through to the lake.
They're going to try, you mean?
The herds are going through tomorrow afternoon.
I don't think so.
I'll see to it myself.
I wouldn't if I were you.
If you have any objections, I'll be in town all morning. We can settle everything right there.
We'll be glad to oblige.
You or Jeff?
Me.
Oh, it's getting easier all the time, isn't it, Jeff? You must be proud of yourself, Calvert. You've turned your son into a killer, and he's going to enjoy the same kind of life you have, if he lives long enough. Back in town, word had got around that Jeff Calvert was riding in to meet me. I waited in the saloon while men spoke in whispers and marked time. Wellman was there, too. Well, you might as well fill mine up again, Barney.
I want to tell you, Paladin, I'm sorry about the way I talked yesterday.
Wellman, it's late to clear a guilty conscience. If you'd used that word sorry when Calvert's wife died, this wouldn't be necessary.
I know that. I did some thinking last night.
Paladin, the Calverts just rode into town.
All right. That squares us, Barney. Well, I hope the show is worth the price.
Hello, Paladin.
All right, Jeff. Anytime you're ready. It won't be self-defense this time, Jeff. You'll have to draw first.
No. You're pretty good, Paladin.
Decided to play your own hand after all, huh, Calvert?
Dad, are you all right? Sure. You were wrong, Paladin. I didn't turn my boy into a killer.
Let's get him to the doctor, Jeff. Unless we're not finished.
We're finished. I got nothing to prove. But I'd like to help. After he sees the doctor, I could drive him on home. Calvert, well, maybe we can talk, huh?
A little late for that, Wellman.
Calvert, when you came here, you expected people to forget the past. Well, suppose you try it. Let it end.
You're right. Wellman, I'd be much obliged to talk.
Hello, hey boy.
Oh, Mr. Paladin. Oh, too bad.
What? What's too bad?
You come back, you find San Francisco cold, rainy, fog creeping around everywhere. Oh, miserable.
Oh, what are you talking about, hey boy? This is what I've dreamed of for many a long, hot, dusty mile.
Oh, then very good. Hey, you lucky time, Mr. Paladin. Something I can do for you?
There sure is, hey boy. Nice, big pitcher of ice water.
Rotate the tires? But I thought they rotated right along with the wheels when the car is going.
Well, ma'am, that's not the kind of rotation we mean. You see, your tires should be switched around for more even wear and longer life.
My goodness, taking care of a car is so complicated, I wouldn't know where to start.
Well, seeing you have a General Motors car, you made the right start by bringing it here to your GM dealers for service, especially at vacation time when we're offering performance service specials. Now, in addition to rotating the tires, we'll check the wheels, tune up the engine, adjust the front end, and give your car a thorough lubrication. That way you're sure of top performance all summer. It's all a part of our Guardian maintenance service.
What's Guardian maintenance?
Well, that means trained mechanics will use special tools and factory-approved parts to do the best job. GM dealer Guardian maintenance. The best kind of service for the best kind of cars. Chevys, Pontiacs, Olds, Buicks, or Cadillacs.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Norman McDonald and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Heyboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by Ann Dowd.
Yeah!
The cast were Sam Edwards,
Blam!
Vic Perrin, Harry Cook, and
He's
Harry
so
Bartell.
bored.
Hugh Douglas.
But yet, such a bird.
Join us again next week
Such a
when
bird.
CBS Radio presents Have Gun, Will Travel.
Now, as the boredest of birdies, you just hear Lurkin giving me a high five and then headed on your way. Oh no. Sleepy bird. Oh no. Well, alright. I'm glad you came in. If you need to go to bed, go bed. No one's gonna hate you for it. Especially me, I'm gonna be fine. I won't cry too much. I need to get this done. But I was gonna do these. Because it was gonna be fun. So if you need to, just chill out, hang out, fall
This man
asleep.
you're shielding is a murderer. And every man he kills from here on in will sit on your shoulder and scream in your ear. Have gun, will travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin. Good evening, hey boy.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, better you go straight up to your room, not go farther into lobby.
Oh, why not?
Oh, you see, standing over there, lady with red hair?
She looks quite angry.
Oh, yes, sir.
Can't
That's
think
not
of
all.
anything.
Over there, other side, lady with black hair.
I'm having big dumb brain moment.
Hey, boy, don't know which lady is most dangerous.
I took the brunette out to dinner 2 nights ago, and the redhead the night before that. Have they talked to each other?
Oh, yes, sir. That's just the trouble, Mr. Paladin. They're talking much. They get mad. Oh, plenty mad. Maybe you best disappear for a few days.
Yeah, well, perhaps you're right.
This telegram may be a reason.
Oh? It's too bad. They're both so attractive. Now, let's see. Regarding your offer to find killer of local sheriff, you're welcome to try at your own risk. S.J. Lovett, Mayor, Silver Flat, Nevada.
You go again?
Well, yes, I might as well.
But what about our beautiful young ladies? You talk to them?
No. Not right now, hey boy. I'm going to take your advice and go up to my room. And you can bring me some whiskey. I can enjoy it while I do my packing. Silver Flat is an ugly town set in an ugly notch between a pair of ugly mountains. I've been there once before, and it hadn't changed much. A few buildings thrown up on either side of a rutted street, half of them saloons, the others land offices. I picked the one that was labeled S.J. Lovett, Real Estate. There were a couple of men lounging near the doorway.
What do you want here?
Well, I'm not sure it's your business.
Never mind, Bo. Yes, sir. Who are you?
My name is Paladin.
Oh, I'm Lovett. You got here fast.
Speed is part of my service, Mr. Lovett.
It's Mayor Lovett, mister.
I'll try to remember that. Can we talk without him?
Yeah, of course. Come in. Now, sit down.
Thanks.
Paladin, Ben Tyler killed Sheriff Pratt. You've offered to bring Tyler back for trial. I've got men who could do that if they could find him. And I won't pay you unless you find him.
That's the way I work.
Killing Tyler won't be enough. I'll have to see his body for proof.
His body?
You'll never bring Ben Tyler back to Silver Flat alive. You'll either kill him or he'll kill you. That's the kind he is. Now, what do you expect for this job?
$2,000.
That's a lot of money. But you got a deal. I'll pay you when you deliver. Oh, and from here on, you're a deputy sheriff. You can consider yourself sworn in. Here, use this badge.
Well, how will I know this, Tyler?
For one thing, he carries a small gun, a .36 caliber Star. And you might get a line on where he is through his lawyer.
Who is that?
Tom Nelson. Now, we had Tyler cold for killing Charlie Bristol, and Nelson got him off. Then Tyler went out and killed Sheriff Pratt. He's a fancy talker, this Nelson. You be careful of him.
I will. Well, who are the witnesses who saw Tyler shoot Sheriff Pratt?
No witnesses.
Well, you seem pretty sure he did it. Why?
That .36 Star he carries, we dug 3 .36 caliber slugs out of Pratt before we buried him. That's better than witnesses.
Look, I just thought you might be able to help me find Ben Tyler, Mr. Nelson.
Lovett's already asked me to do that. I won't help anyone take that man's life.
I just want to find him, not kill him.
I have nothing more to say to you. And you can report that to His Honor, the mayor.
Well, why so squeamish? You defended Tyler for shooting a man named Bristol, and apparently he went right out and killed the sheriff.
The last part is hearsay, Paladin.
Then we'll set it straight. Nelson, if you know, tell me where he is. I'll bring him back for trial.
I can't do anything for you. Tyler's my client.
He was your client. You don't owe him anything now, Mr. Nelson, but he's charged with murder. And you're obstructing justice if you know where he is and refuse to say.
Now, look, don't preach to me
I'm
about...
not preaching at you. I'm telling you. Tyler has to be brought back. If he's innocent, he should be cleared. If he's a murderer, he's got to be stopped. Nelson, if you're shielding a murderer, then every man he kills from here on in will sit on your shoulders and scream in your ears. Now, where is he?
Will you give me your word you'll take him alive?
I can only promise to try.
He was in Prado the last time I heard from him.
Utah Territory?
That's right.
I'll bring Tyler back in one piece, if he lets me.
Tyler was the first man I ever defended in a criminal action. He's also the last. I'm finished with this whole rotten business.
What rotten business?
I'm trying to bring law to this miserable town.
Ben Tyler's trail from Prado wasn't hard to follow. He liked gambling, and he liked whiskey. And he didn't seem to care who knew his name. As a matter of fact, he didn't seem like a man on the run at all. I caught up with him in a town called Hayes. He was in the middle of a card game, and things were going his way.
Just what I need, boys. All blue. Yes, sir. Ain't never seen nobody hold cards like that.
Nothing can stop me tonight.
Ben Tyler?
Yep. Do I know you?
You will. You left something unfinished back in the Silver Flat.
Oh? Like what?
Like a murder charge.
You come on kind of strong, don't you, mister?
You can try your gun, but I'd advise against it.
Lovett must want me real bad if he'd pay the price for somebody like you to get me.
You want to go back sitting in your saddle or lying across it?
I could say the same to you.
That's right. You want to see which way it works out?
All right, mister. I'll go back with you. Paladin?
What?
Make any difference if I told you I didn't kill Sheriff Pratt? He was shot at Clifton Wells, and I wasn't within 50 miles of the place, and I can prove it.
You'll have your chance.
I was with a girl. She went to Carson City, but I can get her down to Silver Flat to say what's right. And I think...
Save it for the jury, Tyler. Uno. We'll leave the horses here.
like coming home. No lawman been appointed yet?
Just me for the moment.
Paladin, you got any idea why Lovett wants to get his hands on me?
Because there's evidence you murdered Sheriff Pratt.
I told you I can prove I didn't. But I got an idea I was squeezed between Lovett and the sheriff. You see, they hated each other, politically and every other way. His honor wants to move up and run this state. Pratt had something on him, something about fraud in his election.
Well, I see you brought him in. Any trouble? No, no trouble. No, I'll take my money, Lovett. Huh? I'll take my money. $2,000. I don't carry that kind of money around with me. I didn't expect you would. But your office is right next door. Well, yeah. Then we'll walk to it now.
Uh-huh. What about me, Paladin? You gonna leave me here to rot?
I don't know yet, Tyler. Come on, Lovett. Now, about that money, just get it. Yeah, 2,000. Count it if you want. I'll be back if it isn't right. You sell land all over this state?
Aiton, you back? Glad to see you.
Very interesting.
Of course you would come back for this.
I want to know if Ben Tyler will get a trial. Of course he'll get a trial. First thing tomorrow. I haven't seen the circuit judge around. He's busy. I'm empowered to sit on the bench in an emergency. In the absence of the sheriff and
Culture.
the temper of this town.
As you can see.
An emergency.
Culture.
I'll take that badge back if you don't mind. No. No, I think I'll keep him. What? I didn't bring Tyler back here to get murdered. Oh. You watch yourself around here, Paladin. You watch yourself real close. This is my town. Lock, stock, and barrel.
Culture. What have I done? What have I done?
The coming trial of Ben Tyler was talked about in the...
What have I done? What did I do?
Stables. It was talked about, and it was conceded that Ben Tyler would be convicted and hung for murdering Sheriff Pratt. Hardly anyone seemed to care whether or not the prisoner was defended.
No, I was cleaning up the booba.
What do you want, Paladin?
I want you to defend Ben Tyler.
Cleaning up the booba. The booba is still there. I'm just cleaning it up, making it look
I told him
nicer.
through this whole rotten business.
You're the only lawyer in town.
What if I am?
That trial is set for
And this
tomorrow
is just a
morning.
sketch
I'm not
anyway.
the judge. Tyler claims there's a girl in Carson City who can clear him, but that won't give us time to bring her here.
It's no concern of mine.
It is your concern, but there's more. Lovett and Sheriff Pratt were enemies. And with the sheriff gone, Lovett's the big
Characters.
Are you suggesting Lovett had the sheriff murdered?
man around here. Lovett's an ambitious man. There's a map in his office showing the number of voters in every county. Now, I'm suggesting that Sheriff Pratt might have been in his way. And I'm also suggesting that people might overlook all the facts that Ben Tyler is tried, convicted, and hung tomorrow morning. Now, you've got to act in his behalf. I don't have to do anything. If you don't act soon, all you'll be able to do is cut Tyler down from the gallows.
Cleaning it up.
Look, will you take the case for $500?
No, not at any price. Why should I in this desert where justice is a mockery unless you carry a gun? Let's just say it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of principle.
Principle? Why did you steal law at all if you don't have the stomach for it? You'd like it, wouldn't you, if only nice people were arrested, if trials were dainty and sweet-smelling and polite. Is that it? Well, it's too bad. But justice can be dirty sometimes, Mr. Nelson.
Hey, Ted, you gotta let an artist art, man. Gotta let an artist art.
But maybe you don't care about that, or a man's freedom, or his life.
Heard you were stirring up some trouble, Mr. Paladin.
Where did you hear that?
Mayor Lovett, as a matter of fact, he asked me to get back that badge you're wearing and send you on your way, so I'll just...
I wouldn't try it.
Huh?
Before you pull the hammer back on that gun, I'll have 3 bullets in you. You want to try? All right, then, you go back to Mayor Lovett. You tell him I'm keeping this star. And you tell him...
Tell him that I'm defending Ben Tyler.
That's all. Now get out.
Thanks for making up my mind, Paladin.
What's the first step?
A change of venue to get Tyler out of Lovett's hands and take a writ.
All right. What else?
But even if I do get the writ, they still took bullets from Tyler's gun out of Pratt's body.
Nelson, how hard would it be for anyone to get hold of a 36 caliber star?
Not too hard. We better move fast.
I was beginning to give up on you, Paladin.
It was my fault, Ben. Mr. Paladin had to convince me of what I should have seen myself. Hey, what's this? You're being released for trial in another court, Ben, before an impartial judge and jury.
Will I be able to get that gal in Carson City? You'll be able to defend yourself with every bit of evidence you can gather.
And I'll see to it.
And I swear to you, Tom, I didn't kill him. Just stand where you are.
Shotgun, Mr. Mayor.
That's right. Don't nobody move around.
With a shotgun, you're holding the best cards, Lovett.
And you're helping a man break jail, Paladin.
I brought an order for his release, Lovett. There's to be a change of venue in this case. Paladin's only doing his job.
I haven't seen any release order.
I've got it. And I take the responsibility for releasing a
Oh,
prisoner.
yeah.
Well, let's see it. Of course.
You take this outside and burn it. Glad to, Mayor.
That won't do any good. Paladin and I will tell Judge Lehman that we delivered it.
I don't think Mayor Lovett intends for us to tell anything to anybody. That's the way it'll be, won't it, Lovett?
You'll be shot, helping a prisoner escape along with his lawyer. Bolt, get his gun. Sure. Turn around.
Okay. And one more shot for you, Lovett, if I have to use it.
No, Paladin, no.
Take a shotgun, Tyler. Take a shotgun.
I sure will.
Mean.
And here's your...
Oh, my God.
Mayor.
Think, Mark, think.
Now, Mr. Nelson, the case is all
You know what?
yours.
Love it. Love the meme.
Oh, good to see you back, Mr. Paladin. You have good trip to Silver Flat?
Good as can be expected. Oh, hey, boy, did the ladies finally leave?
Oh, ladies. Oh, they have big fight over you. Policemen come and take them away. You're smart, Mr. Paladin. Go away, I miss trouble.
When it comes to being caught between 2 women, I'll run every time, hey, boy. Well, now, for a quiet evening of poker with... Uh-oh.
Good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Wow, good. On second thought, hey, boy, since I'm dressed for the evening, I might as well go out for the evening.
Think, Chief, think.
If I were, I'm not anymore, hey, boy.
I was,
Good night.
I like the one where it's, the joke where they're like, you need to guess. What's a skeleton's favorite meal?
Have gun, will travel.
What's a skeleton's favorite meal? Guess! Guess!
With Ben Wright as Hey Boy.
Come on! Guess!
The Angel. And adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Dick Crenna, Harry Bartell,
God damn it! It's spare ribs!
Join us again next week.
Why do you disappoint me so often?
U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon corners a vicious killer into a Gunsmoke follows
that one is a great me.
You forced me to wager my life against $1,000. Now you can wager yours against 30 miles of desert with a companion who hates you and half a canteen of water.
Have Gun. Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin, this gentleman, Mr. Morgan, look for you.
Why do you disappoint me so much?
Looking for you in the lobby, and I asked the boy here where I might find you.
Oh, I tell you, Mr. Paladin often take a place of concealment behind potted palm with a chessboard.
Yes, I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, not at all. You bring 2 brandies, please. Hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sit down, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm leaving for Silver City early tomorrow morning with my fiancée. You could see to it that I get there alive.
Well...
there's no need to go into all the details of the background, but the situation basically is that my railroad holdings are considerable. A man named Danbury and his syndicate are determined to buy me out, and I don't want to sell.
It seems to me that's your privilege.
Yes, but Danbury's the kind of man who gets what he wants, one way or another. There have been attempts on my life recently.
Mr. Danbury has peculiar business methods.
I have narrowly escaped a bullet on 3 different occasions, Paladin. The latest this morning.
3 misses isn't a very good average. Perhaps they're just trying to frighten you into selling.
That's what I thought the first 2 times, but not now. Will you accompany us to Silver City, Mr. Paladin? I'll pay whatever you ask.
I'll be ready to leave at sunup. Silver City was a 2-day ride through a hot, dry stretch of desert. Morgan drove a buckboard with Stacy Neal, his fiancée, on the seat beside him. I rode alongside, trying to keep out of the dust that boiled up. There wasn't much chance that an attempt would be made on his life out here. Nothing moved. Even the lizards had taken cover from the heat. Morgan!
Yeah?
Those willows off to the left. We'll stop for water.
All right.
Can I give you a hand, Miss Neal?
Thank you.
That's not much of a spring, is it?
No, but it's the last water between here and Rough and Ready.
Rough and Ready?
That's the next town. We'll stay there tonight and go on to Silver City in the morning.
Oh, that spring looks good to me.
You know, men come to the desert in search of gold.
Maybe
this is the real treasure out here. Water.
I think the desert presents a challenge to come and fight it.
How do you punish a blind kid?
Darling, aren't you happy there's no one here to call that particular bet?
Yeah, I think
Why, what's the hurry?
Look behind.
Go on. I wish to hear the joke.
How long has he been there?
I noticed him just after we stopped.
Suppose he's been following us?
Maybe. Chances are he's just another traveler heading for this spring.
I don't like it.
Well, the town's straight ahead. After the horses are watered, the canteens are filled, you go on.
What are you going to do?
Double back.
Oh, my
Do a little
gosh.
checking.
That's great. It's terrible and great.
I backtracked for some distance, then stopped by a sandstone bluff to wait for the man riding down the trail toward me. When he drew alongside, he reined in.
Something I can do for you?
Yeah. Just give me a little information, like who you are, where you're headed, why.
That's a lot of information to give out to a stranger.
My name is Paladin.
You're still a stranger to me. But I don't mind telling you I'm Howard Gorman.
I've heard of you and your gun.
Well, now.
12 men, isn't it?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Come to think of it, maybe it's about time I started thinking about adding that lucky 13th.
Oh?
There's something about nosy people.
I got the idea that maybe you were following us.
Why'd I want to follow you?
I'm not sure.
You can
But
give
it's
him
my
a piece
business
of
to find out.
sandpaper and tell him
That's fine.
it's find a word.
I like
Oh
to
my
know you're
God.
tending to your business.
Wow.
Just stay out of mine. There's something about nosy people gets me riled.
Bad jokes over here.
Ready was the only town within a good many miles, and it boasted just one hotel.
More dark jokes.
So I wasn't too
They're not
surprised
bad.
to find
They're
Gorman
just
in the dining room when we went
very,
into dinner.
very
He
dark.
was sitting at a corner table, deep in conversation with a well-dressed man.
He keeps looking over here.
That's the man who was following us?
Yes. His name is Howard Gorman.
Oh.
He certainly looks as if he knows how to handle those guns he's wearing.
He does. He has quite a reputation as a
Oh,
gunman.
Danbury hired him, I'm sure of it.
Say, Morgan, do you know the man with him?
No, never seen him before.
Paladin, he's coming over here.
Paladin? Stand up.
Morgan, take Miss Neal and get out of the way.
Well, I...
Do as I say.
Come on, Stacy.
Paladin,
You're making a mistake, Gorman.
you going to stand up?
I'd rather finish my dinner.
It's finished.
You shouldn't do that to good food.
Well,
We'll have it your way.
I told you I'd killed 12 men, remember?
All right. Get those
This
nugs.
is number
Get those
13.
nugs. I believe in you.
I'd been forced to kill a man, and I wasn't sure why. It was a fair fight. Gorman drew first. But somehow it
You
didn't
can't
make
say
any
no
sense,
to nuggies.
and I didn't like it.
I mean, a lot of people can't say no
Later,
to
I went to
nuggies.
the bar and ordered a
Agreed.
bottle and a glass.
Paladin.
Oh, Morgan. Drink?
Oh, no, thanks. Paladin, I think we should discuss a little business.
What are you going to do, dear? Talk him out of his fee to cover your losses?
Stacy. Now, Paladin, here is your pay in this envelope.
Well, you're very generous, Mr. Morgan, but I haven't finished the job.
How's that?
Well, our arrangement was for Silver City.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter now. It's ended.
I don't understand.
Gorman is dead. That is, there's no danger now.
Morgan, if it had been Gorman shooting at you back there in San Francisco, he wouldn't have missed.
No matter, Paladin. It's finished. Come along, Stacy.
Not now.
Very well. Oh, Stacy, don't bore Mr. Paladin.
You know why I'm not going with him? Because he's hit me for the last time.
Hit you?
I know how he is when he's been crossed or when things don't go his way.
But...
Don't look so shocked, Mr. Paladin. Surely you know there are men like that. He's rotten. Maybe I'm rotten, too. I put up with him because he was rich. But I've had enough. Tonight was too much.
Tonight?
Oh, you still don't understand, do you?
I guess not.
Do you remember the man sitting at the table with the gunman?
Yes.
His name is Shawcross. He's Sid Morgan's business partner.
Business partner? But Morgan said that
I
he didn't...
know. He said he'd never seen him before. They're two of the same kind, those men, sporting gentlemen. It was a bet.
A bet?
They'd heard of your reputation with a gun. They knew Gorman was good and could be hired to kill, so they set it up for you to shoot it out and made a wager on the outcome. Morgan lost.
This was all set up?
Yes.
I killed a man to provide an evening's entertainment?
Yes. They've been doing things like that for years. And getting away with it. Oh, it's over, Paladin. You might as well forget it.
Forget it?
They didn't break any law. There's no way to reach them. There never is.
Stacy? Morgan! Come down here.
Yes?
I was very interested in what Miss Neal had to say.
Oh. He told you, huh? Well, you've no complaint, Paladin. You were well paid.
Paid for what, Mr. Morgan? To kill a man for a sideshow?
Well, I didn't realize you gunmen drew a fine line.
Well, right now it might be a pleasure to kill. You're wearing a gun. Why don't you draw?
I have no reason to draw against you, Paladin.
Now you have a reason.
I won't draw, Paladin. I won't give you the excuse to shoot me. There's no way, Paladin, unless you choose to commit a real murder.
I spent a long night with no sleep and an anger that kept growing. But finally I had to face the fact that probably the lady was right. It was over. I should forget it. It was early morning when I stopped at a desk on my way out of the hotel.
Yes, sir.
Hey, lady, Miss Neal. Has she come down yet?
Come down. Oh, yes, sir. All of them did. They left in a buckboard before dawn, 2-3 hours ago.
What do you mean, all of them?
Well, lady and Mr. Morgan, Mr. Shawcross.
They all left together?
Yeah. Lady, poor little thing.
Poor little thing? What do you mean?
Well, she was crying. I kind of got the notion she'd no cotton to the idea of going alone.
Have them bring my horse around. I have some riding to do. I had no trouble picking up the tracks of the buckboard, but my travel was slow. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking for until I found it. And then I realized I'd had a hunch that was correct. She was lying just off the trail. Stacy. Stacy. Here. Here's water for you.
Water?
Yeah. Now take it easy. No, not too much now.
Good. This was his way of getting even for what I told you.
Yes, I realize that.
I guess it doesn't matter. Because I asked for it.
Of course it matters. Stacy, you think you can stand up?
Yes, I think so.
Here, let me help you. A little wobbly, huh?
A little wobbly. Where are we going?
I'm going to help you on my horse. Then we're going to find Mr. Morgan and Mr. Shawcross.
You'll never be able to catch up with
No,
them.
not on the trail. But we can cut across the desert and head them off. You feel able to travel?
Let's go.
It was a hard ride. But when the buckboard came into the turn where the trail leveled off to border a dry lake, we were waiting. Stacy, stay back.
Hold it! Paladin, what is this?
If I fire again, Morgan, it won't be in the air.
Now, don't be hasty, Mr. Paladin.
Yes, Shawcross, I understand. This gun won a bet for you. Gives you some respect for it, huh? All right, get down.
Now, Paladin, whatever it is...
Get down. Throw your guns on the ground.
Now, Paladin. Paladin, wait now. You're a smart man. And we have money, Paladin. We have lots of money.
And so I understand.
I'm sure you're a reasonable man.
Certainly, but I'm also curious. I'm curious as to just how far your money will go in protecting you.
Let us go on to Silver City. You just name a price.
Silver City?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you a shortcut.
Oh?
Silver City is due east, across this dry lake. 30 miles exactly, about a 3-day walk. You better get started.
Walk? Are you insane?
I told you, I'm curious. You left Stacy to take her chances with the desert with no water.
Well, but Paladin...
You're going to have better odds. I'll give you a canteen.
This is murder.
Oh, no. It's a wager. I made a bet with myself that 2 men carrying a canteen of water could walk 30 miles across this desert.
You can't mean that.
Oh, but I do.
All right. You're going to force us to do this, Paladin?
I am.
Very well. In spite of what your intentions might be, we will consider it a challenge. Shawcross?
All right.
The canteen, Paladin.
Here.
Thank you. Let's just understand this much, Shawcross. We make it to nightfall before taking any water.
Yes. The important thing is not to lose our heads.
By all means.
One thing, Paladin. You'll pay for this.
Suppose you get started.
Paladin.
Yes?
It is murder.
No.
That sun will kill them.
No, Stacy. They'll destroy themselves. We watched the figures of the men grow small in the distance. Then I tied my horse on behind the buckboard, and we started out across the dry lake, driving slowly behind them, keeping them always in sight. Hours passed, and the sun beat down without mercy. And more hours passed.
Yay! Tasty food.
Saving the water, have you noticed?
Eat it and convert it to poo.
Back and forth.
Yes. Oh, Stacy.
I'm doing this right now.
I
got done with my pictures.
Judgment seat. Nah, I'm going after them.
Yeah.
I thought you would.
I'm trying to get good angles because it's a good practice of figure drawing and stuff like that. Why not? Why not also practice figure drawing as well? Eat it and convert it to poo.
Morgan. He's dead.
Yes. Yes, I killed him.
I
Took 2
killed
swallows
him.
Of water.
It was
He
me
was only
all
supposed
along.
to take 1. I killed him with this rock.
I guess you're not beyond the law this time, Morgan.
2 swallows. The agreement was 1.
I'm gonna make this more sci-fi down here. These gals are gonna be more sci-fi. There you go, Raven. Hopefully it's not too, Yeah, there we go. How about that, Raven? Does that sound okay? I just want to make sure it's not too much. I know that I might have to end the stream in just a minute because I got to go to work in just a second, but yeah. I just want to make sure that my friends are taken care of. And if it doesn't, and yeah, I gotta go to work, but Aw, thank you. So the fun thing about panels is that you can have the characters go all around and stuff like that. I might swap her to the other side and make her point this way because I don't want her to point at another character. Yay! I'll set you up with a role. We don't have a bot anymore. The last bot didn't work at all. So we've just decided to, until we get like ridiculously amount of people, we're just gonna. I have decided. What? Why did it grab that? Cancel that. Cancel that. Hold
You're
up.
asking a man to risk his life for $100 bet. I'll stake him. If you make it $1,000, even money.
What? The fuck? Do you see this? See this happening? This is weird. What? Watch. Watch. Huh? Where did that come from?
Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin.
And now I don't. Sometimes I do not get this at all. Yeah, no. Clip Studio sometimes just decides things. So, like, it not only does the selected area, it will also just randomly grab not only the lines, but the erasing as well.
It's not correct for a gentleman to do his own packing. Besides, you do a stinky job.
Oh, for heaven's sake, hey, boy, stop your grumbling.
The clip tool. What's the clip tool?
There is something you can do.
Who's the clip tool?
Fix me another whiskey and water.
Who was clip tool?
It's a pretty far trip you take, Salamanca.
Who was phone?
Where are you, Salamanca?
Probably when you were eavesdropping on my business conversation.
Oh, no, not eavesdropping. Just interesting.
Ah, you use Clip Studio as well. Oh. Herb Derp, it's a
There's
mouse.
a city called in Mexico and one in Spain, I think. And
Yeah,
there's one
nice.
somewhere in South America.
South America. Like I say, long trip.
And like I say, I'm not going to Salamanca, hey boy. I'm going to Salamander City, California. And when I get there, I've got to
You got to find a girl named Irene.
So, I'm gonna fix that. You see, Clip Studio sometimes will just decide randomly what it likes.
In town she loved very much. And is going to marry
And then it'll just be like, fuck you.
He's going to pay you $1,000 to bring her back to
I don't care, and it doesn't matter.
You say, you go.
It is amazing how much you can hear while you mix drinks.
Oh, thank you.
Nothing in this world matters.
Family have very strong ears. You go now?
I go.
With our American servicemen in many countries around the world, they have a wonderful opportunity to observe new customs and traditions. What might have seemed strange before is becoming pretty familiar to them. For instance, among the Mohammedans, to drink coffee with anybody is regarded as a sacred rule of hospitality, a token of peace. The berries are roasted over a charcoal fire, and the coffee is allowed to boil 3 times. It's thickly
Wow.
and served in very
Wow, Clip Studio.
all this is traditional among Mohammedans, but as our servicemen have observed,
Undo.
well, it's simply their version
See
of our
this
midnight
shit?
coffee break, or our afternoon tea party, or our cocktail
Well,
hour.
you know what? I'll
It's a time
just
for friends to
cut.
sit down and relax. It's a time for conversation. With a cup of
And
whatever beverage
then new
suits
layer.
individual taste. And this is true of customs and
And
traditions
then
of all customs.
I'll
A way of doing things
deselect
may be different, but
and
ideas are
paste.
the same. So
It's
it is
being weird. It's being real fucking stupid. And it's getting on my fucking nerves a little bit. But no, it's all good. It's all good. Oh my goodness. But it doesn't matter right now because I'm just gonna save it. We're gonna cut the stream off there. And thank you, Raven, for being here. I do appreciate you. Let's see, who's on? Well, there's Taylor Draws.
Forget the toils of a day's work with beer or rye whiskey. Their heads
Might send people might send you over there, but thank you. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a cut-off stream today, but thank you for coming in, Raven. Thank you for being amazing, and thank you everybody else that came in. You guys are awesome. Stay positive. Stay incredible. Know that I believe in you, and I will hopefully see you later. And Raven, I'll see you later. But I gotta get ready for work, so I'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.